now we're at the time where the Hamashiach is getting ready to come.
And hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I am the Lord.
Last words, brother.
Shalom, shalom, ma.
All right.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. All right. Shabbat shalom, Yasharel.
That's
Shabbat
right.
shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Israel. All right, me and Brother Daniel, we are here again on another blessed Shabbat.
You know it.
Hebrews.
You
All
know
right.
it. We're just a little earlier than usual. You know, normally we start at 12:30, but I'm here in Monterey, Cali. So, well, we're gonna get it in. We're gonna get it in, Yasharel. So we're gonna be dealing with the miracles of Hamashiach. All
That's
right.
right. So we tried to if you wanted to watch the lesson in portrait or landscape, either or, it doesn't really matter. We put up a broadcast so you could watch it either or. So let me go ahead and put this thing in the background so we can get this Exodus started.
Yep, pull that up, man. Yeah, I saw that vertical. I saw that that other display and everything. I wasn't too sure how to use it, so I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. All right. So go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and go to the book of Exodus. The book of Exodus, chapter 20. And we're gonna read the fourth commandment.
That's right.
You already know what the dealio is. All right. And this is going to be 8. Let's go up to verse 8.
All right, there we go. 8
through 11.
So
I'll start off reading the first one. So it says, remember the Shabbat day to keep it holy.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all of thy works.
But the seventh day is the Shabbat of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work. Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy maidservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Right.
All praises to the Most High.
And he hallowed it. That's right, Brother Daniel. All praises to the Most High.
Right. That's right. And that's just a reminder to us, Yasharel, that every week that comes, the preparation day, we know it's the Friday, right? And we prepare everything, do all the work, get your grass mowed, all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Do all your shopping, you're buying, you're selling, whatever you got to do during those 6 days. That way, when the Shabbat comes around, all you got to do is you have everything prepared already. Just sit back and enjoy. Whether you get out in nature, whether you're at home, whatever. That Shabbat is a day of the Holy Almighty.
Right.
Nothing like it, because there's 3 things that he did to that day that he did to no other day. He blessed it, he sanctified it, and he rested. Not because he was tired, but because to set an example for his people.
That's right.
Man, that's a blessing.
Come on, man, bring it out. Hey, Israel, do me a favor, right? I don't know if it's just my microphone. Maybe I need to turn up my volume. But is Brother Daniel coming in low to y'all, or can y'all hear him?
Am I coming in low? Yeah. Oh, I hope they can hear me.
Oh, God. Oh, you know what? I think that might be me, bro. Let me make sure that's not.
Because I can hear you loud and clear.
All right, Con.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah. Please let me know. Let me know if I'm coming in low.
Yeah, man. They saying 1. That's me. That's me. Let me turn up.
Okay.
Let me see. Let me turn up my volume, man. That must be the speaker. Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
All right. Thanks. Yeah, thanks, Israel. Appreciate that.
Good deal. I couldn't even tell. All right, Yasharel. I'm gonna bring up a scripture right quick. I'm gonna start.
Yeah, I turned you. I can get a bird background now. Yeah.
Okay. Since we're doing the miracles of Hamashiach, there's in the book of, I'm gonna read this first, and then I'm gonna go to the book of John, the very last chapter, because I want to show y'all something. But in here, you got, so this is John 14:12, and it says, "Amen, amen. I say unto you, he that believes on me, the works that I do shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father." Now, get this. He says that greater things that you shall do. So what does that mean? I mean, that's powerful. Now, that fact that we're on the subject of dealing with the miracles of Hamashiach, what does that mean for us in these last days? What does that mean that if we truly keep the commandments and follow the Most High, just think of the abilities that we're going to have.
Right.
And this has to be used in the right format. What I mean by that is that you can't be wicked then claiming to work the powers of the Hamashiach. Don't work that way. That's why when you see all these camps out here doing their thing and they're spreading false doctrines, but yet they're claiming to keep the commandments, they have no power.
Mm.
All they doing is just causing causing the bruise to scatter even more, to divide even more. Hey brother, you got anything you want to bring out, man, before I go to the very last book of John?
Nah, brother, do your thing, huh? Do your thing.
All right. Do this one.
Sir.
And, make sure I got the right verse here. All right. This is the one I want to bring out because this is really powerful. So this is John chapter 21 and verse 25. And it says, "And there are also many other things which Yahushua did, the which, if they should be written, every one, I suppose that even the world itself could not contain the seraphim or books that should be written." Now, can you imagine something like that? I don't know. I'm pretty sure I was going to bring that out maybe somewhere, but I wanted to really bring that out to show you that even with all the miracles that Hamashiach did, like right here, it says that there's so much stuff that he did that you couldn't even write the books. There wouldn't be enough books to even write about it.
God.
Man, that's crazy.
See for Reem. Yeah,
See,
they
for real.
could not contain it.
Man, I wanted to bring those two out, man, because that right there, I get goosebumps when I read that. I'm like, dang, man. Like, you think about all the books that we got written, everything. Like, I'm talking about every single book that's written, that we have access to.
Let's just go to the very first miracle that Hamashiach did then, right? Let's go to the first. I mean, like, people wouldn't even really consider this a miracle, but then when you really look at it, it truly is a miracle, right? Because what did Hamashiach do? Hamashiach is the one that created the earth, right? Colossians chapter 1, right? Start at verse 15. It says, "Who is the image of the invisible God?" Right? Because why is the Most High, the Almighty, invisible? Because no man, right, can ever view God and live. So to us, he's invisible. Who is the image of the invisible God? The firstborn of every creature. That's Hamashiach, right? That was the first thing that the Most High Almighty, he ever created. For by him, right? For by Hamashiach were all things created that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities. It's talking about here on this physical plane, not in the third heaven, right? Whether it be visible or invisible, whether it be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers, all things were created by him and for him, right? This is why he is the Lord God of Israel. And he is before all things, and by all things consist, and by him all things consist. And he is the head of the body, the church, right? So this is how we know we're talking about Hamashiach here, right? Who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, right? He was the firstborn from the dead. He had to be. He was the first one that conquered death. Without him being the firstborn from the dead, we would have no hope of rising again from the dead. But through the blood of Hamashiach, we know that we have that possibility again. That in all things he might have preeminence. For it pleaseth the Father, this is the Almighty, right? The one that made Hamashiach, that in him should all fullness dwell. And having made peace through the blood of his cross, by him to reconcile all things unto himself by him, I say, whether they be things in earth or things in heaven. Right? Because what? Through the blood of Hamashiach, we will be reconciled back to the kingdom. But only the chosen. So this is the first major miracle that the firstborn of every creature, the firstborn of God, this is the first miracle that he's ever done, is created all things in heaven and in earth.
You know what's interesting? You know what's interesting, man, when you read this and when you look at the first Adam, right? Because the first Adam messed up. Right? We were supposed to be immortal. We were never to taste death. But when Adam disobeyed the Most High, well, guess what? Then we all die. All right. But it's like Hamashiach is coming to restore that. And so this is like a precept to what's going to be restored, or what was lost in the beginning.
I broke it down to like over all the miracles that Hamashiach's done over the time. I broke it down into like 4 categories dealing with resurrections, exorcisms, like healing powers, or like natural miracles where like to see what do y'all want to what I'm saying? What do y'all want to deal with first, Israel? Right? What do y'all want to deal with first? You want to deal with resurrections? Y'all want to deal with exorcisms? Y'all want to deal with healing powers or nature miracles? All right, nature miracles. Which one do you want to deal with first? Because there's a lot of them that we can deal with. Because we're here, man, we could be here all day. We literally could be here all day, right? But while y'all thinking of that, I'm going to pull up I'm gonna pull up a miracle that isn't so it's more like a hidden miracle. It's more like a hidden miracle.
Yeah, just bring it out. Bring it out. That's why the last book of John talks about all the things he did. It wouldn't be enough books to contain it. So,
that's right.
Like brother said, we could be here all day dealing with miracles.
21, maybe.
But just always remember, though. Yeah, before you start off, though, just always remember, people out there trying to imitate miracles. There's always a prerequisite to that. You got to keep the commandments. You can't just be out there wicked, trying to claim that you healing. All right, go ahead and bring it out.
All right, let me highlight this. Right.
Yeah.
All right, so this isn't really a you really have to be reading into the scriptures, right, to really pay attention to this, right? So it says when evening was now come, his disciples went down unto the sea and entered into a ship and went over the sea toward Capernaum. And it was now dark, and Christ was not come to them. And the sea arose by reason of great wind that blew. And the sea arose by reason of a great wind that blew. So when they had rowed about 5 and 20 or 30 furlongs. Okay, how long is 30 furlongs? You mind looking that up for me? Let me see. Matter of fact, let me just look that up. Yeah,
I'll look it up too.
How long is 30 furlongs? It says, so when they had rowed about 5 and 20 or 30 furlongs, so either 25 or 30 furlongs, they see Yahushua walking on the sea, right? That's a miracle right there, and drawing nigh into the ship. And they were afraid.
It's 3.7 miles. Let me bring it up. Well, it's 3.7 miles.
Dang, right? Okay, so they were 3.7 miles off the coast, right? And they saw Hamashiach walking and said, be not afraid. All right, it is I. Be not afraid. Then they willingly received him into the ship. Right, so they're 4 miles off the coast, and then Hamashiach appeared out of the blue, walking on the water. Be like, "Yo, man, calm down. I know it's windy out here. It's me. Relax. Let me on the ship." So Hamashiach, he comes and he gets onto the ship. Right, they willingly receive him onto the ship, and immediately the ship was at the land whither they went. So they was out 4 miles out at sea. And Hamashiach, he teleported the boat immediately to the land because there was in a windy, because it was so much wind that was out there, and it was causing them to be uncomfortable. Right? So that means that what? Hamashiach, he can teleport immediately. Let's see. Matter of fact, let's look this up in the You know what? I'm gonna look this up in the BLB.
What are you doing? I'm gonna put something up too.
I want to look in the it's the right, because I want to see what it says. You know, like what is the Hebrew? What is the boom, right? What does the Hebrew mean right here, right? What does the Hebrew mean when it says immediately? So let's go to the interlinear and let's see the Strong's Concordance. You know, just so we can see that I'm not making this up, right? Immediately, G12. Let's see what we're talking about here. It's locky. Let me pull that back. What the heck? Back. Oh, interlinear. Okay, straightway, right? Straightway, immediately, forthwith, right? As soon as, immediately, shortly, straightway, directly, at once, or soon, right? So that means that, immediately. And they straightway left their nets, that's immediately, and followed them. You don't take no time. They immediately left the ship and they're following and following. Jesus put forth his hand and touched him and said, I will be and thou clean. And immediately his leprosy was cleansed, right? So this means that, right here, the very first miracle that I brought up today, this is an uncommon miracle, but we know that what Hamashiach can teleport. Not only him alone, but he has the ability to teleport a whole ship full of disciples and himself 4 miles off the coast immediately to the land. That's one miracle. All right, you got one you want to bring up?
Oh, bring it out.
No. I said I know you was looking up something. I said, man, you got something you want to bring up?
No. Go ahead. This was something else I was thinking. No, go ahead.
Okay, con.
Oh yeah, I'll bring it out later on.
Con. Right? So, Israel, put a 1 in the comment section if y'all know that Hamashiach could teleport. Right? And I'm gonna show you some more instances of like him, like, teleporting, somewhat like he has that little vanishing ability where he can teleport and move and people can't see him, right? Let me see. Y'all remember that time when they was trying to stone him, right? I think there was like 3 recorded instances where like Christ, he like supernaturally, like he slips away and becomes invisible to the people that is trying to kill him. Let me see. Let's go to John 8:5, I think. Let me see. I know I got all these marked. All right. And see, these people, man, they was mad at Hamashiach these days, man, because they wanted to kill him, right? Because Hamashiach had an answer for everything, and he was just so spiritually perfect that they just couldn't stand it. Let me see. I'm gonna start at 50, right? Now I'm starting 40. I'm gonna start at 48, right? Then answered the Jews and said to him, "Say we not well that thou art a Samaritan and hast the devil?" Right? Yahushua answered, "I have not a devil, but I honor my Father, and ye do dishonor me." So this right here, you see Christ himself, right? Hamashiach himself, he's telling you that he has a father. So those folks that believe that, that Hamashiach is the same person as his father, we see right now he is not. They're 2 separate beings, right? I have not a devil, but I honor my Father, and ye do dishonor me. And I seek not mine own glory, right? Because see, if he was the same thing, right? The Father and Son and the Holy Spirit, how they try to combine that stuff together and try to make the Lord looks like he is schizophrenic, right? You would know that everything would be all to the same person. It wouldn't be like one part of my spiritual body be this and this, that, and the third. You see what I'm saying? It's here, it's making a clear separation. I seek not mine own glory, but there is one that seeketh and judgeth. Talking about the Most High, right? Verily, verily, I say unto you, if a man keep my saying, he shall never see death. What does that mean? Right? We're going to get those spiritual bodies if we keep on with the law, statutes, and commandments and obey the Most High. Right? Then said the Jews unto him, now we know that thou hast a devil. Abraham is dead, and the prophets. And thou sayest, if a man keep my sayings, he shall never taste death. Art thou greater than our father Abraham, which is dead, and the prophets are dead, whom thou makest thou themselves? Now remember, right? Never mind. We also know that Abraham is not really dead because what? We saw Abraham holding who? Holding Lazarus in the spirit world, right? So we know he's not dead. And dead means absolutely, totally destroyed, right? Yahushua answered, if I honor myself, my honor is nothing. It is my Father that honoreth me, of whom ye say that he is your God, right? Why don't Christians and other religions read this part right here? It is telling you that Yahushua himself, he's telling you that the Almighty Yahweh is their God, not him. Yet ye have not known him, but I know him. And if I should say, I know him not, I shall be a liar like unto you. But I know him, and keep his saying. Your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day, and he saw it, and was glad. Then said the Jews unto him, thou art yet 50 years old, and hast thou seen Abraham? Yahushua said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, before Abraham was, I am. Then they took up stones to cast him, but Yahushua hid himself and went out of the temple, going through the midst of them, and so passed by. This is a time right here where Hamashiach made himself invisible. They were mad at the Lord, right? Not only did Hamashiach tell them boys they don't know nothing, right? He told them, hey, man, I'm before Abraham. They got so mad at him, they were starting to pick up stones to stone him. This is another secret miracle, right? What I was telling before, that Hamashiach be teleporting. And so Chris hid himself. I guess, he put over to himself the Harry Potter cloak, right? Or something to that, something to that ability. But he hid himself. He went out of the temple, going through the middle of them, and he passed by them. Untouched. Right? What about another one? Right? When they were, it's something similar to this, right? I'm gonna bring out another similarity. All right, let's go to Luke.
And when you
Brother
get done
Dave.
with that, man, I got something to bring out too. So go ahead.
Con. Matter of fact, if you want to, man, you can bring it out now if you want.
If it's related to teleportation, no, go ahead and bring yours out, and then I'm gonna bring one out from Bell the Dragon.
Okay, con. All right. Another one, right? Let me see. I'll just start from 24, right? Verily, right? And he said, verily I say unto you, no prophet is accepted in his own country. But I tell you of a truth, many widows were in Israel in the days of Elias, right? Or Elijah, when the heaven was shut up 3 years and 6 months, when great famine was throughout the land. But unto none of them was Elijah sent, save Sephartina, a city of Zidon, unto a woman that was a widow. And many lepers were in Israel in the time of Elisus, the prophet, and none of them were cleansed, saving Naaman the Syrian. And all they in the synagogue, when they heard these things, they were filled with wrath. Which means that what? That in those days, it was great famine and all that stuff. They were saying that all those folks were supposed to be holy during those times, but there was no healing taking place, right? Because God was not with them. And so right now, Hamashiach, he's telling these folks this right here, and they're getting mad. They say, ain't nobody was cleansed, ain't nothing was going on. But the real prophets that I sent, those were the only ones that was healing folks. Nobody else was cleansed because all of them was wicked except for the Syrian. And all there in the synagogue, when they heard these things, were filled with rage, with wrath, and rose up and thrust him out of the city and led him to the brow of the hill whereon their city was built, that they may cast him down headlong. Yeah, but by that time, Hamashiach was tired of the crap. But he passing through the midst of them went his way. Hamashiach wasn't about to let him kill him. It wasn't his time to die. He wasn't going to let him throw him off the mountain. Disappeared right into the middle of them, and went his way. After they then led Hamashiach out of the city, tried to bring him up on the hill where they was going to try to throw him off headlong down the mountain. Yeah, we can go up another time too, or when Hamashiach escaped arrest as well. But that's another time when he's able to hide himself or to teleport himself out of trouble, right? And hey, brother Dan, go ahead, brother. You know what I'm saying? That's it for teleportation for right now.
All right, I want to bring something out in Bell of the Dragon because
bring it out.
It's not just the New Testament that talks about the miracles of Hamashiach. We got to realize even before Hamashiach took on this human form, he was still showing miracles even throughout the Torah. All right. So once you realize and see the whole picture of what's really going on, then you can begin to understand he wasn't just only working throughout in the New Testament, but he was working throughout the Torah as well. So I'm gonna start with Bel and the Dragon, and chapter. Well, it's only one book, so I'm gonna start with verse 30. It says, "Now when the king saw that they pressed him sore, being constrained, he delivered Daniel unto them." All right. And if you get a chance, man, just go, Yashua, go and read this whole book. It's really a good book. It says, "Who cast him into the lion's den, where he was 6 days. And in the den there were 7 lions, and they had given them every day 2 carcasses and 2 sheep, which then were not given to them, to the intent they might devour Daniel." So in other words, man, they were trying to make sure that these lions were going to be starving. I mean, just craving for food, just feed them enough to get the appetite up. All right, it says, "Now there was in Yehuda a prophet called Kabakuk, who had made pottage and had broken bread in a bowl, and was going into the field for to bring it to the reapers. But the angel of Yahweh said unto Kabakuk, Go, carry the dinner that you have into Babel unto Daniel, who was in the lion's den. And Habakkuk said, Adonai, I never saw Babel, neither do I know where the den is." And now look at this right here. This is the part right here. This deals with the teleportation. It says, "Then the angel of Yahweh took him by the crown and bore him by the hair of his head, and through the vehemency of his ruach set him in Babel over the den." See, this lets you know the raw power of even angels working miracles, Mashiach back then. And it says, Habakkuk cried, saying, "O Daniel, take the dinner which Elohim has sent you." And Daniel said, "You have remembered me, O Elohim, neither have you forsaken them that seek your love, and you." So Daniel arose and did eat, and the angel of Yahweh set Habakkuk in his own place again immediately. So after he teleported through that to where he needed to be, the angel brought him right back again. So that right there, man, this is powerful. And so many instances like that throughout the Old Testament, you can see just different miracles that took place. So I just wanted to bring that out.
Come on, man. All praises, brother.
Mm-hmm. All right, take it away, brother.
I'm gonna bring out one like we know for we know about, right? And then it's always funny when you're an adult, right? And then when you reread some stuff, and then you really understand what's going on once you study the scriptures, right? You remember when and this is when I was sure, right? That Christ was some colored folk. You know what I mean? And I was sure about this when I heard of him turning the water into the wine, right? So it says, and the third day there was a marriage in Cana of Galilee, and the mother of Yahushua was there, right? And both Yahushua was called and his disciples to the marriage, right? It says both Yahushua was called and his disciples to the marriage, right? And when they wanted wine, the mother of Yahushua said unto them, they have no wine, right? And when they wanted wine, the mother of Yahushua said unto him, they have no wine. Now, that's a funny statement because, like, they just there just to attend the marriage. That's it, right? Hamashiach and the disciples, they're there just to attend the marriage. All of a sudden, Mom Dukes come up and she give you an extra chore. Hey, they don't got wine. Hey, man, the brothers don't got wine, right? The brothers don't got wine. I'm like, come on, man, right? So, Yahushua says unto her, right, woman, what have I to do with thee? My hour is not yet come. So we can see that Hamashiach is a little bit annoyed with his mom asking him, pretty much just to get him wine, because that's what's going on here, right? Hamashiach is annoyed with his mom Dukes. But, right, what does the scripture say in Exodus chapter 20, right? Let's go back to the scripts. Right, let's go back to the scriptures. Salakia Israel. Let me go back to the scriptures. So Exodus, chapter 20. You know what I'm saying? Because see, one thing about Hamashiach, right? He cannot be made a hypocrite at all, right? Boom. So what does the scripture say right here? We're going to outline it in blue. Right here it says, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, right? So even though Hamashiach was annoyed with his mom, right? He said, Mom Dukes, man, what that got to do with me? You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying, they ain't got no wine, so what? What that got to do with me, Mom? His mother saith unto the servants, right? Because she already told him to do it, right? Because she knew that he would do it. His mother said unto the servants, whatsoever he saith unto you, do it. And there were set 6 water pots of stone, after the manner of the purifying of the Jews, containing 2 or 3 first skins apiece, right? Now, back in the day, we used to carry water and stuff like that. We used to have it in first skins, right? And they were waterproof, so you can carry stuff like that on the back of camels and things of that nature, right? And there were set there 6 water pots of stone, and there were manner of the purifying of the Jews, containing 2 or 3 first skins apiece, right? Yahushua saith unto them, fill the water pots with water. And they filled them up to the brim. And he said unto them, draw out now and bear unto the governor of the feast. And they bear it. When the ruler of the feast had tasted the water that was made wine, and knew not whence it was, but the servants which drew the waters knew, the governor of the feast called the bridegroom, and saith unto him, every man at the beginning doth set forth good wine, and when the men have well drunk, then which is worse, but thou hast kept the good wine until now, right? So in other words, they're saying that normally, right, which would make sense, is that you bring out the good wine in the beginning so you can get drunk off that, and then you bring the garbage wine out because you really don't know what you're getting drunk off on that point because you're already drunk, right? But this wine was so good that Hamashiach made. It was so good that he made that they were able, even in their drunken stupor, they was able to figure out that this was some top quality, top shelf stuff. I know this is a miracle. People probably heard a million times before, right? We probably heard that a million times before. Man, right? When you grow up, when you get in this truth, man, it hits a lot different, man. When you see that everything that was going on here. Hamashiach was mad. It was mad. Mom Dukeston told him to get him wine. Hamashiach's like, hey man, what that got to do with me? They don't have no wine. I don't care. What that got to do with me? Right? But Hamashiach looking out for his brothers, and because his mom, laid the burden on him, he decided to, turn water into some wine. Mom Dukes already knew he could do it. Perhaps it was the faith of the mother alone that allowed that to even go down for them. Who knows? Brother Daniel, what you got, my brother?
Oh yeah, man. I just let you know the order, man. Back then, and just couldn't just even the women understood the order. So, and that's why Hamashiach said what he said. What do I have to do with the woman?
There was mad, boy.
Yeah,
Hold up, Mom Dukes. Hold up, Mom Dukes. Relax. Right?
that's right. That's right.
You got any miracles you want to bring out?
Man, it's so man. Go ahead and bring some more out, man. I'm gonna get a few more here. I'm just trying to get some that I think they probably never heard of before. So,
Con.
most of
I
most
got
of
one
them
that
are
maybe
pretty-
they're not.
Yeah, most of them are
Remember-
pretty common. So,
Remember that time they had the shekel in the fish's mouth and they caught for the temple tax?
oh yeah,
Yeah,
man.
let me read that. I don't think they heard of that too much. I mean, it's not a popular one.
Man, even when I was caught up in Christian insanity, man, that was that's all week went, man, miracles. Every miracle. Look,
Con, right? We start at verse 24, right? Start at verse 24, Israel. All right. And when they were come to Capernaum, they that had received tribute money, right, came to Peter and said, doth not your master pay tribute? He said, yes. And when he was coming to the house, Yahushua prevented him, saying, what thinkest thou, Simon? Of whom do the kings of the earth take custom or tribute, or of their own children, or of strangers? Peter saith unto him, of strangers. Right. Yahushua said unto him, then are the children free. Notwithstanding, we should offend them. Go thou to the sea and cast a hook and take up the fish that first cometh up. And when thou hast opened his mouth, thou shalt find a piece of money. That take and give unto them for me and thee. Damn. Hey, man, Hamashiach don't play. Hamashiach so mean, right? Hamashiach saying, I'm not even coming out there. I'm not fishing. You go fish. But they want me to pay something. I'm going to send you out there. And then you're going to come up with a fish. And then inside of the mouth of the fish, you're going to have a token for this food. Come on, man. I mean, the way Hamashiach be handling these boys, it's like the I don't know, man. It's like top line G stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, you really can't beat it. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that you can do about, and it's so smooth the way Hamashiach does every miracle. It's just so smooth. Yeah, I mean, because there's like tons, there's like tons of miracles, right? And see, and the very first scripture that Brother Daniel came out with, saying that Hamashiach had done so many miracles that it couldn't fill up, it couldn't fill up the Sephrium, right? So no matter how big the book it is, no matter how many books we have, we would never be able to fill up the books with the amount of miracles that Hamashiach did. We know that Hamashiach was doing miracles on the Shabbat, right? We know that we know that Hamashiach was doing miracles on the Shabbat. You know that was making them mad. Doing miracles on the Shabbat, you know what I mean?
Right.
Making them mad, doing all that kind of stuff, right? Hamashiach wasn't playing. And then it said he did so many books. Hey, Ak, man, I can't hear it, but that wind is bad. Oh, Salako, there it is. All right, man. It was so much, they was hating on him. If he did that many miracles, you know those folks was mad at Hamashiach. And then the ones you read about, he does it so smooth. He talks shit, Salaki, right? He talks stuff to him, right? You know what I'm saying? No boys, they talk stuff to Hamashiach all day. They try to, make a fool of him. Then he comes back with a smooth answer that you can't even defeat. You got to look stupid. It's unanswerable. I mean, like, how do you think that you're going to be able to defeat a person in logic that gave you the logic? Right? You're looking at the person that gave you the ability to come up with logic. It doesn't make any sense to me. Let's go to Matthew 8. I believe Brother Daniel has something.
Yeah, I do. But go ahead, man. Bring it out.
No. Go ahead, brother. I'll bring that out later.
Okay. So I do want to bring out. You know, everybody knows about this miracle, all right? Casting out evil spirits. Hey, let me know if the wind. Let me know if the wind is still bothering me.
Okay.
Man,
now, as long as you're talking, I can't hear it. As long as you're talking, it's like overrides what's going on in the background.
Yeah, this scene is beautiful, Joshua. I wish I could see what I'm seeing right now. But anyway, let's go to Mark chapter 1. Mark chapter 1. Now, this is common, and I want to bring out, when I read this, I want to bring out something, because you got too many people who claim that they can cast out demons. All right? Not everybody is given the gift to cast out demons. All right, it says, and there was in their synagogue a man with an unclean ruach or spirit, and he cried out, saying, let us alone. What have we to do with you, Yeshua, the Nazarene? Are you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of Elohim. And Yeshua rebuked him, saying, hold your peace and come out of him. And when the unclean ruach or spirit had torn him, he cried with a loud voice. He came out of him. And they were all amazed, so much as that they questioned among themselves, saying, what thing is this? What new doctrine is this? For which authority commands he even the unclean ruach or spirits, and they do obey him. And immediately his fame spread abroad throughout all the region round about Galilee. Now, this is the thing that Brother Eitan was talking about, where Hamashiach was doing so many things, and people were getting jealous, so they were trying to claim that, oh, he's healing, he's casting out demons on the Shabbat. He wouldn't be doing that on the Shabbat, but the Pharisees were hypocrites themselves, because they didn't even keep the laws, But the point that I wanted to bring out, though, there's another place where y'all remember when those who was it? Some of the disciples that were trying to cast out demons. No, it wasn't disciples. It was somebody.
Yeah, no. It was disciples. Remember, and then they got their behind whooped so bad they got beat out naked.
Yeah, they said we know Peter, we know this dude, we don't know you, and they beat the hell out of him, man. And so Hamashiach was like, because you didn't have faith, So there's things. I know we talk about miracles and we're talking about these things, and you got to understand the real between the faith. When people out there who claiming that they're doing this stuff and they keeping the laws, that's false. That's false representation. They ain't doing nothing but running their mouths. And you got people out there speaking in tongues, thinking that they can cast out evil spirits, and they all of it is just folly, And again, like I said earlier, there's a prerequisite to this, where you have to be keeping the laws and you have to be in good graces, standing with the Most High, and you'll know if you had that gift.
That's right.
And everything. So this is not for everybody. So I just wanted to bring that out. But there's been many cases where Hamashiach, cast out demons, and his disciples cast out demons, and what have you, though. And and as we talked about last week, the spirit world, we showed you what that there is a spirit world, and there are evil spirits that are roaming the earth, constantly possessing people. So stuff is real.
Oh, man.
All right, brother. Let me put this back on mute.
All right, that was a good one, brother. All praises to the Most High. Let's go to Matthew 8. I think I was going to Matthew 8. We're not going to cover all the miracles, because if we're here, we'll be here for a while. All right. But I'll try to switch off from like healing to like, spiritual to like nature to like resurrection. As a matter of fact, man, we got to get some exorcisms. I think Brother Daniel just did exorcism. So we'll get a resurrection after I bring out a miracle of Hamashiach, Master in the Storm, which was sort of what we heard earlier, right? That's right. I like that one, right? All right. Matter of fact, I'll just I'll start from 18. All right. All right. Now when Yahushua saw great multitudes about him.
Hey, put it on the screen. It's not on the screen.
Oh, all right. It's looking. Good looking. All right. Now, when Yahushua saw great multitudes about him, he gave commandment to depart unto the other side. And a certain scribe came and said unto him, Master, I will follow thee, whithersoever thou goest. And Yahushua said unto him, the foxes have holes, and the birds have the air, have nest. But the Son of Man hath not where to lay his head. Oh, praise. All right, because what? He had a spiritual body. You know, he was among us as men, but Most High's son never sinned, not once. Right? And another of his disciples said unto him, Lord, suffer me first to go and bury my father. What? Right? Yahushua said unto him, follow me and let the dead bury their dead. Meaning what? His father was wicked. His father was not getting the kingdom. Follow me, one that could save you, right? And let the dead bury their dead. Meaning that all of them that was at their funeral, they was wicked too. They was going to die too. They're all dead. And we had entered into the ship. The disciples followed him. And behold, there arose a great tempest in the sea, insomuch that the ship was covered with the waves, but he was asleep, right? Why would he awake, right? The things that he made would never attack him. Of course he could sleep soundly. And his disciples came to him and awoke, saying, Lord, save us, we perish. And he saith unto them, why are ye fearful, O ye of little faith? And you know what? I don't understand that either, right? If you're in the boat with the Hamashiach, with the Son of God, and you know he's the Son of God, through all the lessons and the teachings and the miracles that you've seen over these times, why in the hell are you afraid about some little wind and water? Why would you be afraid? I would grab a little sleeping bag I had or whatever it is, and I'll go wherever Hamashiach at and go to sleep right there. I know I'll be straight. It doesn't make any sense for them to even be like this. Why are ye fearful, O ye of little faith? Then he arose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. You know, I wonder what he said. All right. I wonder what he said. But the men marveled, saying, what manner of man is this, that even the winds and the sea obey him? Right, man, that's a hell of a miracle right there. I wonder what happened, man. They woke Hamashiach up from sleeping. You know he was probably sleeping good, right? How many of y'all sleep good when the rain falls outside? When there's a nice little storm, right, going on outside, how many of y'all sleep good? Right? For me, man, that's the best time for sleep. For me, man, I sleep great when thunderstorms are happening. Right? I sleep great when thunderstorms are happening. So Hamashiach, he's sleeping good. There's no telling what's going on. Hamashiach having a great sleep right now, and they disturbing him, coming up there talking about, Lord, it's a little bit too much wind and rain. Oh, please help me. What?
That's crazy.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Come on, man.
Hey, I want to iterate on something that you brought out. So we, talking about the miracle of the storm. Now, understand, Hamashiach, he has power over the elements. What I mean by the elements is that he controls the wind, storm, seas, and all that. And like brother was bringing out, like how in the world could you be fearful when you were there with the Creator at the beginning? The Creator who was there at the beginning with the Father, and the one who you've seen has done many miracles. All of a sudden, you let a little storm get you uptight. Hamashiach is there, and it's like, that was a test for the disciples. That was a test for the disciples, because they could have calmed them storms if they truly had faith. Did I know that? They could have calmed them storms themselves. And maybe that's what Hamashiach wanted, was hoping that they would do. That's why he was sleeping, because think about it. They had the power. They was with the original, the power originator.
Come
But
on,
yet
man. That's crazy.
they still disbelieve. Like, dang, like you got the Hamashiach there with you. We don't have that. You know, we have the Hamashiach spirit, but he's not here physically with us. But yet they had Hamashiach there physically with them, and they still doubted. Man, that's just mind blowing.
Mind-boggling, brother. It's mind-boggling, man. Oh, um, I don't know, man. And then you see Hamashiach probably annoyed as hell, get out of his nap, probably look at them. Man, are you serious right now? Look at them. Hey, stop blowing it and calm down so I can get to sleep. And then he probably went back to sleep. You know what I'm saying? This stuff is,
He's
you know
probably,
what I mean?
yeah, he's probably like, man, y'all could have just did y'all could have just did that yourselves. Like, you know, I give you the power. I told you that you better do greater things than these.
Hey, man, that's a man. Hey, man, I'll feel so small too, man. Hamashiach would wake up and be like, man, why y'all hey, man, why y'all scared? Why, you know what I'm saying? Why y'all be a little girl? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Hamashiach wake up and scared him. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Play him. Hey, verse 26. And he said to them, why are ye fearful? Oh, ye a little faith. Yeah. Hey, man, come on, man. And then he arose. You know what I'm saying? I can just see how Hamashiach getting up smooth. Hey, shut up. You know what I'm saying? Hey, calm down. You know what I'm saying? Hamashiach, hey, man. You know how, come on, man. There's no way.
I can see how somebody would get fearful now. Like, if you was in the middle of the ocean and you was in a big wave, you know, yeah, but, you know, back then, man, you had Hamashiach with you.
God,
Man,
man.
and you see the miracles that he has performed already. It's like, man, how can you doubt?
There's no way. Exactly, man. There's no way that I could doubt. Let's go to the miracle of that Phoenician woman. I want to bring out something right there. I think that's in Matthew 2, isn't it? 14 or 15. Let's try 15. Yeah. All right. Boom, right? This is an African woman, right? Another miracle. Turn your Bibles to Matthew chapter 15. We're going to go to verse 22. Now, this is a multi-layered miracle because it points out a few things. One, that the Lord, he's only for Israel, right? And, you know, he will look out for the heathen, but, you know, not really like that, you know? And behold, right, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast, right? So this was not an Israelite woman, right? So this is one of the few times in the scriptures that we can see that a miracle was performed for a race, or another race other than Israel, right? For another race other than ours, right? And you know, I mean, I felt some type of way too, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, I was like, dang, man, my folks are so wicked. Man, the Lord out here looking out for heathens instead of looking, you know what I'm saying? Like the heathen has has more faith in the Lord than my own people. Man, that's had to be an embarrassing time, right? You got heathens coming from other nations going up to Hamashiach and begging for miracles because they had more faith in him than our own people did. Go ahead. What you about to say, brother?
No, I was saying that's crazy.
Come on, man. When you just sit back and think about that, you be like, wow, man, these folks coming from everywhere else just has so much faith in the Lord rather than our own people who we came for, right? Like it says in Luke 1:28, it said the Most High sent Hamashiach for us to save us from our sins and from the enemies that surround us. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with a devil. Well, you know, Hamashiach, he already knew that, right? He already knew that. But he answered her not a word. And his disciples came and besought him, saying, send her away, for she crieth after us, right? So we got this heathen woman. She coming up to the Lord. She begging, oh, Lord, please, Lord. Now we saw how smooth he is, and you know he don't play no games. It says in the parables that he was a what? an austere man. Means that what? I'm sure he's serious. He don't play games. It ain't about game playing or hee hee ha ha and all that other nonsense. Right? Hey, you know what? I challenge somebody, man. Find me a scripture where it says Hamashiach is laughed in the Bible. Have you ever read that? I never read in the scriptures where it said Hamashiach laughed ever.
You know what? That's interesting, man, because I haven't seen that either. Yeah.
I've never seen that in the scripture. I never seen where it says he smiled. Where it say Hamashiach smiled at? Not once. Now I got to think about that. There's never been a recorded situation where it said Hamashiach was happy on here. None. Right? So y'all got to think about that. He was here all them 30-something years and they didn't see Hamashiach smile and be happy or none of that one time. Oh, man. You can only know he was only thinking about killing the wicked. Imagine being sent here on a mission to die amongst your creations. Because your creations decide that they don't want to act right. They want to do their own thing. And now you in trouble with Pop Dukes, right? The Almighty. You got to come down here and stick up for your creation. You got to pay the ultimate price, which is die. Because we know Hamashiach did not want to die. I pray I'm dead for Hamashiach come back, but I don't want to be here. Lord knows I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here.
But I know one thing, man. The Hamashiach showed anger when he whipped them jokers, man. When he tied 3 strings of cord together and started whipping them jokers in the temple. That's probably the only time where he was really recorded as being mad. I mean, he was angry.
Man. Oh man, facts, right? Mm-hmm. Verse 23. But he answered her not a word. So Hamashiach ignored the woman. Right? She a heathen. Of course he's gonna ignore her. Right? And his disciples came and besought him, saying, "Send her away, for she crieth after us." Right? So she was over there making a racket, a fuss. So much so that they had to make a decree amongst themselves. Hey, Lord, please. This woman is doing too much. You got to get rid of her. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Meaning the Lord said, man, hey, listen, man, that's your job to get rid of her. I don't care about her. I'm only sent for my people. You deal with this woman, get her out of here. I don't care. Right? So I guess it looks like that she done broke forth from the crowd or the brothers that was holding her back, because it said in 25, then she came and worshiped him, saying, Lord, help me. So she got in front of the Lord and said, Lord, help me. And he answered and said, Lord done seen all this that this woman did. Lord didn't care. Lord said, I don't care. They said, you know what? It is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it to dogs. Right? So the equivalent of being called a B word, right? Hey, that's what it is. You stinking B, who's you? I don't take my food and give it to you. And she said, truth, Lord. Yet the dog eat from the crumbs which fall from their master's table. Dang. So she took on the disrespect full force and didn't care. Because is it disrespect coming from the Lord if it's the truth? No. This woman had accountability. She understood that she was nothing. And her understanding, she still begged the Lord to help her.
But see, that shows
Go
a true humility. I was gonna say for the heathens, man, that shows a true humility. Now, these days now, man, people just think they just entitled, man, to anything. They don't care, man. That's why so many people gonna be destroyed.
Oh yeah, you already know that, man. They'll be like, "What? You healed her, so you gonna heal me? What's better than her and better than me? You gonna heal me, God?" You know what I'm saying? That's what they will try today, man. The Lord, I can only imagine what'll happen, right? Then Yahushua answered and said unto her, "O woman, great is thy faith. Be it unto thee even as thou wilt," as her daughter was made whole from that very hour. Bam. right? So whatever devil or whatever that she was suffering, right? Because in those days, if you were retarded and you couldn't talk or you stuff like that, they would also say that you was possessed with a devil, right? Because there's something in there that's jamming up the wires. That's probably what it is today. We just, you know, people they still think it's some type of sickness, but they're really these folks that are, you know, mentally challenged on some wickedness or really struggling. Man, they might be possessed by a devil. Right? But we've been so brainwashed by these heathens that you might just, oh, it's a mental problem. Who knows? But anyways, it said that the Lord made her whole that very hour, healed her up. Oh, healed up the heathen in that very hour. Here you go. Fix whatever your ailment was, whatever was going on, possessed by that devil, boom, you good to go. Heal you right on up. Man, the Lord was great back in these days, man. Well, he's still great. You know, he's great in all days, but just to you know, read about the accounts, read about his adventures and see the things that he went through, man. How could you not want to be like Christ? How could you not want to be like Hamashiach? I want to be smooth. I want to be a smooth talker, a smooth walker. I want to have all the righteous, you know what I'm saying? I want to be righteous so nobody can't blame me for being, for you know what I'm saying, for doing something wrong. I'll be blameless.
That's right.
I got all the righteous. I got all the smooth wisdom answers. You can't trap me up with the words. Hamashiach is who I want to be. I don't see how could you not want to be Hamashiach?
But you know, it's interesting, man. If by the grace of the Most High, man, if we live to see the wilderness in our time, man, guess what? We're gonna have our chance. We're gonna have our chance, man. And I pray that it's much sooner than later, too.
All praises, brother. Me too, man. Come on. I pray that I can. I ain't gonna lie, man. Sometimes I do. I know it's gonna be scary, right? When we read about the coming of the Lord and how the days are dark and not gonna be light. It's gonna be like you ran from a bear, you turn around the corner, there's a tiger there. I mean, come on, man. That's some. You know what I'm saying? Who thinks of stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, just to put that together in the words to try to describe how terrible it is. That's terrible. The Lord said it's like you run from a bear, come around the corner, and there go a tiger. What? Or you put your hand on the wall and it's dark and you turn on the light and there's a scorpion on your hand. Hey, man, that's some terrible stuff. You ain't trying to deal with that. I don't know. Maybe you are. I don't know. I know I'm not. It pays to obey. If you obey, man, you can be smooth like Hamashiach. Talking smooth. You know what I'm saying? Talking smooth. Have them so mad they want to kill you. And then you could disappear among the crowd. I mean, not really because you don't have those spiritual abilities, but, you know. What other miracles y'all want to hear about? Y'all want to hear about some resurrections? Well, let's get at least a resurrection out of the way, right? One that's not so famous. We'll talk about that widow's son in Nain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, talking about Luke 7. I think that's 7. Yep. Yeah. Start it's like 7 verses, I believe. All right. And it came to pass that the day after they went into the city called Nain. Of many of his disciples went with him, and much people. And when he came nigh to the gate of the city, behold, there was a dead man carried out, the only son of his mother, and she was a widow. Right. So that's terrible. Now, see, in these days, right, we didn't have, you know, saying in these days, you didn't have the proverbial, well, you had harlots and whores, but you didn't have them like that. right? When it came up, you know what I'm saying? These mothers, when they were widows, they were married, right? And she was the son of his mother, and she was with meaning that she didn't die. And well, I mean, Slakia, that the son did not marry because he was still there with the mother, apparently, right? Because the only time you leave your parents is when you get married. So the son stayed unmarried, stayed with the mother, who was a widow because she lost her father, right? And much people of the city was with her, right? So she was a supported member of the community. So this was a righteous woman, right? We know she had to be righteous because what? The Lord took compassion on her. And when the Lord saw her, he had compassion on her and said unto her, weep not. And he came and touched the bier. And they that bare him stood still. And he said, young man, I say unto thee, arise. Lord have mercy. Young man, I say unto thee, arise. And he that was dead sat up and began to speak. And he delivered him to his mother. Come on, man. Hey, the Lord said, sister, you keep the commandments. You didn't have it hard. I saw that you lost a husband. And now you have lost your son. You have nobody left. I'm going to have compassion on you, sister. And because she kept the law, statutes, and commandments, which is evident, the Lord rose her son up back from the dead, took away her grief that she had, and restored it with a strong son. Man. Young man, I say unto thee, arise. And he that was dead sat up and began to speak, and he delivered him to his mother. And there came a fear on all, and they glorified God, saying that a great prophet is risen up among us, and that God has visited his people. See, they knew that they were God's people, that God had visited his people. That today we don't even have that knowledge that we're his people. That's how lost in the abyss our people are. That we don't even know we're God's people.
Hosea 4:6, man, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, man. That is so true. This is probably the only captivity we've been in, man, where our people don't know who the hell they are. All the other captivities, man, they pretty much knew. In Egypt, because they had the tribes, you know. Babylon, they knew. During the Medes and the Persians, the Greeks, they knew. During the Romans, they knew. But this one, the Sub-Saharan and the Transatlantic, completely destroyed.
Man, I can't lie, Israel, man. If you can see what Brother Daniel said, I'm gonna say, I know jealous is a sin, but boy, Brother Daniel is at a beautiful spot on the water, chilling. Man, I wish I was out there, man. I'm about to, woo-wee. All praises to the Most High, man. Damn, brother, man, I'm gonna take a flight out there. Man, that's a beautiful spot out there to hold a Shabbat. Well, anyways, though, as we see.
Don't worry, man. I'm about to share with the brews, man. I'm gonna put it on there. I'm gonna let them see.
Okay, come on. Yeah, man, that'll be great.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let the brother see.
Yes, sir, man. Pray for me, man. And no heathen snatch me up out here, though. Yeah, if they do, man, they gonna catch a big lump.
Oh man.
They're gonna catch a couple of ones, boy. They're gonna catch they're gonna catch a combo, 2-way combo, 3, 4, 6, 6, 5, 8 combos.
Brother out there
chilling. Menu.
But these people that just died, man. See, man, and this is how you know these stories are real too, because it's not like these folks have been dead for weeks at a time. They start to decompose and stuff. Like the Lord brings somebody out that just died, like Lazarus. He was dead for only like 4 days, I believe, and then the Most High, he rose him up. Right, Christ himself, he was only dead for 3 days. So it's not like you're in the ground, got a chance to decompose and all of a sudden, get all rigor mortis like and be all hard and you can't move and just you're dead for days on end. It's not like that. So Hamashiach, he's actually, man, he's bringing these brothers back that are just freshly gone. Hey, more than likely too, man, those brothers are going to the spirit world. I mean, they get to go to the spirit world for the righteous, You know, the ones that got brought back to life. Because I can't really see Hamashiach bringing back wicked Israelites back from the dead and giving them a chance of salvation.
That's
When
right.
you had all those others that had died, and you know what I'm saying, and they died without their chance, without a second chance. There are no second chances. So the ones that got risen up back from the dead, even when Lazarus was risen back up from the dead, when all those folks that also got risen up at the same time, 100% they're all righteous, man. Ain't no way in the world Hamashiach bringing back wicked ass niggas from the dead. That ain't happening.
That is right, brother.
In fact, let me go to I guess I'll get the Lazarus one, or you ate, and I guess that'll be the last one.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and get that one, man. I think I'm gonna pull up another one too. I got a couple more things I want to pull up here.
Okay, come on.
Yeah, but go ahead and bring it out, man, because I got to look for this one.
I think Lazarus and when I want to think this John. Cannot freaking remember. John, I think it's John 11. No. All right, yeah. Ooh. All right, yeah. I guess I'll read this. This is a little bit to read, but I'll read it. I'll read it. Yeah, okay. I don't gotta read all this. I'll read a few. I'll start from the beginning though. All right. Salakia, right? Salakia means excuse me. When you brothers don't know what that means, you hear me say it a lot. It means just excuse me in Hebrew, or something similar. It means a little deeper than that, but translated in English, the best way is be excuse me, or I saw or apologize, or something like along those lines. John 11, verse 1. Now a certain man was sick, named Lazarus of Bethany, right? The town of Mary and her sister Martha. It was that Mary which anointed the Lord with ointment and wiped his feet with her hair, whose brother Lazarus was sick. All right. So you see that, right? The Mary, what was that? Mary Magdalene, maybe? That was the one that had washed the hair, right? With the right? I think it was Mary Magdalene that
Yeah, that was her. That was her.
Okay, come on, right? So it was Mary that anointed the Lord with ointment and wiped his head with her feet, right? Whose brother Lazarus was sick, right? So we know this is a family of what? Of righteous people. Even though Lazarus was a bum and he was heavily poor, he still kept the commandments. He was still righteous, right? The scripture says what? Give not to the wicked, right? So they were giving to Lazarus, so we know he was righteous, right? Therefore his sisters sent unto him, saying, Lord, behold, he whom thou lovest is sick. Okay, so that was Hamashiach's homie, right? When Hamashiach heard that, he said, the sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, that the Son of God might be glorified thereby. Right now, when Yahushua loved Martha at her side, Slakia. Now Yahushua loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. And we had heard, therefore, that he was sick. He abode 2 days still in the same place where he was. So that means he's doing his father's work, right? Because, he had love for Lazarus. See, man, this I'll let you know too, right? When you read these scriptures and you see in these different places that the Lord was going, this wasn't by happenstance. This was all predestination, all pre-planned, all stuff that Yahushua had to do. This wasn't stuff that, he just, today I think I'll just get up and go over here. No, this is stuff the Almighty had already set out for his son to do. I got these brothers over here that I want to get the kingdom. I need you to go over here for 2 days, because on the 48th hour, this brother, Salakia, because on the 50th hour, hold on, 24, that's 48. Okay, so on the 30th hour, right, we're gonna have this brother show up, and he needs to be there during this time, plus these other brothers that are gonna get saved. Like, this isn't happenstance. Everything that the Most High has is a plan. It's a plan of perfection, right? It said that It said that what? It said, now Yahushua loves Martha and her sister and Lazarus. They were all Hamashiach's homies. Hamashiach homie was Lazarus, his sister, and Martha. He messed with all of them, right? Those are all his people that he dealt with while he was here on the physical plane, right? And when he heard therefore that he was sick, he abode 2 days still in the same place where it was. Then after that saith he to his disciples, let us go to Judea then. His disciples said unto him, Master, the Jews of late sought to stone thee, and goest thou hither again? Yeah, because it's his homie. Right? Yahushua answered, are there not 12 hours in the day? Right? If any man walk in the day, he stumbleth not, because he seeth the light of his world. But if a man walk in the night, he stumbleth, because there is no light in him. Man, the way Hamashiach be breaking down these scriptures, and the way he answers stuff, man, you just can't beat it, man. Man, he took a simple, like, hey, man, why you scared?
Facts.
And then he broke it down. You know what I mean? Like, hold on, man, what are you talking about?
Facts.
I'm the light. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to stumble as long as you with me. I'm not the dark. You know what I'm saying? If you stumble, if you walk in some place at nighttime, you can't see, you ain't got no light, and you stumble because you don't got no light. I got light in me. I can't be failed by those people that was trying to stone me before. I'm like the 12 hours a day. These things he said, and after he said them, our friend Lazarus sleepeth. But I go that I may wake him out of sleep. These things he said, and after he saith unto them, our friend Lazarus sleepeth. That's what I hope happens to me. I hope I go to sleep. I hope I don't die. When it's time for me to leave this earth, I hope I go to sleep. I hope I don't die. Many of us, you die. When you take your last breath here, you are dead. You die. You don't go to sleep. These are the things he said, and after he saith unto them, our friend Lazarus that sleepeth, but I go, that I may awake him out of sleep. Man, I want the Lord to wake me out of sleep, right? And then said he his disciples, Lord, if he sleep, shall he do well? Howbeit Yahushua spake of his death, but they thought that he had spoken of taking a rest and sleep. Then said Yahushua to them plainly, Lazarus is dead. Right? Just to make them understand what was going on, Lazarus is dead. And I'm glad for your sakes that I was not there, to the intent that ye may believe. Nevertheless, let us go unto him. See, when you Hamashiach's homeboy, you don't have to, when you in with Hamashiach, you don't got to worry about nothing. Man, you don't got to worry about being dead. Hamashiach just come back into town and raise you back up. You don't have to worry about anything. Hamashiach got you, man. Just like we read earlier, why are they afraid of the wind and the waters when Hamashiach there? I wouldn't be afraid of any sickness. I'm not afraid now. Anything that happens to me, I am not afraid, and neither should any one of you be. If you keep in the law, statutes, and the commandments, you know the Lord is with you. You should not be afraid. There is no reason to be afraid. If anything ever happens to you, whatever accident, whatever the case may be, right? It's only a light sleep. Then said Thomas, which was called Didymus, unto his fellow disciples, let us also go that we may die with him. Then when Yahushua came, he found that he had lain in the grave for 4 days already. Dang. Right? Now Bethany was nigh to Jerusalem, about 15 furlongs off. 15, what was that? 4 miles earlier. What was it? 3.5 furlongs earlier that was reading?
Yeah, it's like 3.5.
3.5 furlongs was 4 miles. Man, okay. It's not 5:15. It's almost 20 miles. All right. And many of the Jews came to Martha and Mary to confront them concerning their brother. Then Martha, as soon as she heard that Yahushua was coming, went and met him. But Mary still sat still in the house. That's her brother, right? Then said Martha unto Yahushua, Lord, if thou hadst been here, my brother had not died. But I know that even now, whatsoever thou wilt ask of God, God will give it thee. So he knew that it wasn't himself that was making the miracles, just like we know that Hamashiach himself did not make the earth, but he got the power from God. But he received the power from the Almighty. Martha said unto him, I know that you shall rise again in the resurrection of the last day. Man, she already had faith, right? But I know that even now, whatsoever thou wilt ask of God, God will give it thee. Yahushua said unto her, thy brother shall rise again. Martha saith unto him, I know that he shall rise again in the resurrection at the last day, which means that what? He's already been guaranteed the kingdom. He's not dead. He's already got the kingdom, the resurrection at the last day. Man, I wish somebody told me that. Man, hey, imagine how much of a relief that would be in your life if an angel dropped down and told you that you're going to rise again at the last day. Woohoo! Hey, listen, man, could you imagine how happy you would be? That right there, I would imagine that would be beyond any happiness that I could ever experience right now on this earth. An angel coming down and telling me that I'm going to rise again on the last day. Yahushua said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. So, man, y'all better believe. So you got them you got them camps out there that are Old Testament only. Fail to understand the scriptures. Like we read in Colossians 1, who actually made the earth. Womp womp. You ain't gonna live again. Because you didn't believe that God had a son. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Believest thou this? I know that I do. She said to him, yeah, Lord. I believe that thou art the Christ, the Son of God, which should come into the world. And when she had said so, she went her way and called Mary, her sister, secretly, saying, the master is come and called us for thee. As soon as she heard that, she arose quickly and came unto him. Now, Yahushua was not yet come into the town, but was in that place where Martha had met him. And the Jews then, which were with her in the house, and comforted her, when they saw Mary, that she rose up hastily and went out, followed her, saying, she goeth into the grave to weep there. Right. So what grave she's going to? She's going to her brother's grave. She's going to Lazarus's grave to weep there. Then when Mary was gone, where Yahushua was, and saw him, she fell down at his feet, saying unto him, Lord, if thou hadst been here, my brother would had not died. Right. See, these are the faith that these women have in the Lord. They knew. They said, man, if you was here, Lord, there's no way my brother could have died. It don't matter what he had. Faithful, right? Magdalene, man, she was so faithful, man. She decided to wash her hair. Wash the Lord's feet with their hair, anointed. Imagine if Christ came down today. Christ appeared today like he did there, like a regular man. Man, you think any sisters would be trying to wash the Lord's feet with their hair? We think they would try to let me stop. Let me not go there. Okay. So it says, then Yahushua therefore saw her weeping, and the Jews also weeping, which came with her. He groaned in the spirit and was troubled. Man, he saw the grief of his people, and the Lord was like, But they had to experience this. Why? Why did they have to experience this? Let's go back up. Were we in 34? They had experience because of what? This sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, that the Son of God might be glorified thereby. That's the whole reason Lazarus had to die. That's the whole reason Lazarus had to die. Oh man. All right, it says 30. Now Jesus did not yet come was in the place where Martha had met him, and the Jews which were with her in the house of comforters, saying 32 Slakia. Right, when Mary was come where Yahushua was and saw him, she fell down at his feet, saying unto him, Lord, if thou hadst been here, my brother would have not died. When Yahushua saw her weeping, and the Jews also weeping, because he saw his people in pain, which came with her, he groaned in the spirit and was troubled, and said, where have ye laid him? They said unto him, Lord, come and see. Yahushua wept. Why? He wept because his people was troubled. They had to go through the death of Lazarus, who apparently was well loved in the city, even though he was poor. Yahushua saw this amongst the righteous. It made him feel some type of way. Yahushua wept. Notice now, we ain't read about Christ ain't had not a happy time yet. This anger and sadness and disappointment is all Hamashiach is seeing when he's on this earth. I want y'all to remember that dude that hit Christ upside the head, hit Hamashiach upside the head and say, prophesy who smote you. Oh, Christ wasn't able to get that get back yet. I know I couldn't sleep, man. I know if that happened to me, man, somebody slapped me upside my head and I was blindfolded talking about some prophesy who slapped you. Oh man. Hey, Christ been, man, ever since I read that scripture, since I was a kid, right? A little child, I've been stewing, that has been stewing on my spirit ever since then. Woo. I don't know. It's crazy, man. Yahushua wept, then said to the Jews, behold how he loved him. And some of them said, could not this man which opened the eyes of the blind have caused even this man should not have died? Yahushua therefore again groaning in himself coming to the grave. It was a cave, right? Because what? These people, they trying to play the Lord now. Now he like, duh, you know. But just like I said in the beginning of the chapter, this is all to glorify the Father. So his homie had to die. Groaning in himself, coming to the grave. It was a cave, and a stone lay about it. Yahushua said, take away the stone. Man, didn't they roll the stone in front of Yahushua's grave? They had to do the same thing. Take away the stone. Martha and the sister of him, right? Martha, the sister of him that was dead, saith unto him, Lord, by this time he stinketh, for he hath been dead 4 days. Yahushua said unto her, said I not unto thee that if thou wouldest believe, thou shouldest see the glory of God? Hey, that right there is an aggravation. That is an aggravating statement. God is aggravated. Yahushua already told you behind to move the stone. Now you showing doubt and you arguing. Now you arguing with the Lord. Lord, he stinketh though. Why don't God to remove the cave? Shut up and do what I tell you. Didn't I tell you if you're going to believe that you're going to see the glory of God? What are you questioning me for? Then they took away the stone from the place where the dead was laid. And Yahushua lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me, and knew that thou hearest me always, because of the people which stand by. I said it, that they may believe that thou hast sent me. That thing said, Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me, and I knew that thou hast hearest me always, but because of the people which stand by, I said it, that they may believe that thou hast sent me. So normally he wouldn't have said that out loud, but he had to say it out loud just so they'll know that he's talking to the Almighty. And they wouldn't try to put that on him to saying that that Christ is the one doing all this stuff, right? And when he thus had spoken, he cried with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. And he that was dead came forth, bound hand and foot with grave cloths, and his face was bound about with a napkin. Yahushua said unto them, loose him and let him go. Then many of the Jews which came to Mary and had seen the things which Yahushua did believed on him. But some of them went their ways to the Pharisees and told them what things Yahushua had done. And that's just one of the greatest miracles right there. Now we can read that same miracle over in Luke, and it also goes forth and expounds on it, and it tells you how more people were raised up out of their graves when Lazarus was raised up. Right. I'm gonna turn it over to Brother Daniel. You know, I've been running my mouth for a little minute, and let Brother Daniel get it.
This is all I got, man. I'm gonna bring this out. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna end for me. I'm gonna end. Brother A-Time may want to go on a couple hours more, but I'm gonna end with this one.
No, I'm good. Hey, my leg is
so I'm gonna show you one of the greatest miracles of all. This was still Hamashiach performing this, and that was the deliverance of our people from Egypt. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but I am gonna, like, when we leave this podcast today, go and read the 10 plagues of Egypt. The greatest miracles that was shown to our people. All right. Unfortunately, a lot of them still, after they got to where they were getting, and they forgot. But just want to read this, and it says, and Moshe was 80 years old. Now, a score is 20. So that means that if this is 80, so 20 times 4, what is that? That's 80. 20, 40, 60, 80. So he was 83 years old when he spoke unto Pharaoh. Can you imagine that? 83 years old when he went unto Pharaoh. All right. And it says, and Yahweh spoke unto El Moshe and said, El Aaron, saying, when Pharaoh shall speak unto you, saying, show a miracle for you, then you shall say unto El Aaron, take your rod and cast it before Pharaoh, and it shall become a dragon. And Moshe and Aaron went in unto Pharaoh, and as they did as Yahweh had commanded, and Aaron cast down his rod before Pharaoh and his servants, and it became a dragon, a snake, as they and Pharaoh called the wise men and the sorcerers, now the magicians, and Mizraim, they also did in like manner with their enchantments. Now, we did a lesson a while back ago. We talked about, the men of renown. Right? They were able to do things, and replicate stuff. But the Most High, what he did is that he had the true source of power. They only had like a replica, of using sorcery and what have you. But that's why when you look at the rest of the 10 plagues that came on Egypt, when the magicians tried to do the same thing, the Most High ended up causing their magic to multiply the plague instead of stop it. Even with the blood, Both two is very interesting. And, I look at this as the greatest miracle ever because it dealt with the deliverance of our people. And this was Hamashiach at work now. He hadn't taken this, before he came, his first coming, he was still working and back in the scenes, because remember, it was Hamashiach who truly led the children out of Egypt, with a cloud, a pillar by day, and a fiery cloud by night, a pillar by night. So just imagine that kind of scenery. We can't describe how it looked, but the power that was used to deliver Egypt is unmatched. And guess what? It's going to happen again when the Most High throws down these 7 last plagues. The only difference between and some of those plagues that's going to fall in the 7 last plagues are kind of similar to what fell, the 10 plagues that fell in Egypt. What's going to be what's so interesting is that in Goshen we were all in one place together. We were all in the same place together. But this is the first captivity where we're scattered to the 4 corners of the earth. But see, this is why like these people that are over there in Jerusalem. How can the world even believe that these folks are it? Because according to the scriptures, the scripture says that the Israelites are still scattered to the four corners. You
Facts.
would you would think Christians would understand that. You would think that they would see that, but yet they've been able to trick people into making them believe that these ish people over there are the ancient Israelites, because everybody believes it, but not everybody. But majority of the nations they believe that because they set up a physical means to where they tried to fake a fake Holocaust and what have you to make it seem like okay they went through persecution, but they don't fit no curses. Man, they don't even come close. And so the Most High is going to reveal these folks. He already are tearing off the jaws of these people, and their slippers showing. So I'm gonna leave you with that. But that to me, honestly, compared, which hasn't happened yet, the 7 last plagues. Those 10 plagues that Hamashiach performed were some of the greatest miracles I've ever seen. That's just a fact, man. Because it was just sad that our people still didn't believe after that, even after they witnessed the whole host of Pharaoh's army, including himself, man, down in the sea, crossed through the sea, was
Con.
fed manna, was clothes didn't even wear out, shoes didn't even wear out, but yet they still found a way to doubt. It's like Brother Atam was saying earlier. How can you having Hamashiach with you? And he has the power over the elements. How can you still doubt? How could the disciples still doubt his holy power to calm the seas when they could have did that themselves? So I mean, it's just amazing. And as we, Yahshua, as we live out our days, on this earth, and as we keep the commandments, and as we, whatever your talents are, whatever job occupation you have, it's our duty to reach out to our brothers and sisters and teach them, those who want to listen. And we have to keep in mind, also, we have to work out our faith with fear and trembling because we don't know when our time slot's going to end. So, that being said, we got to make haste, keep His commandments, and stay strong and live righteously. That's all I have out.
Con. Well, I'm gonna close up with this scripture right here. Sirach 22, 13, 14, and 15. I was so engrossed in the lesson, I don't really want to pay attention to what's going on the sideline, but this is for all of my Hebrew brothers and sisters. Y'all got to remember this right here. Talk not much with the fool, and go not to him that hath no understanding. Beware of him, lest thou have trouble. Right? Y'all got to. I want to see y'all take these scriptures, right, and then put them to work. I shouldn't be look up and see some stuff going on the sideline about y'all arguing with some damn heathens or somebody from a camp. Don't let them interrupt us. Just ignore them and pay attention to the lesson. We're on much higher capabilities, right? It says, talk not much with the fool, and go not to him that hath no understanding. Beware of him, lest thou have trouble, and thou shalt never be defiled with his fooleries. Depart from him, and thou shalt find rest, and never be disquieted with madness. What is heavier than lead? What is the name thereof but a fool? Salt and sand and salt in a mass of iron is easier to bear than a man without understanding, right? I'll let Brother Daniel or one of the moderators, right, deal with these heathens that are in the comment section that deal with that, right? I don't want any of the subscribers to bother these folks. Let these folks, like, if you let that happen, right, you're giving them exactly what they want. Right? We should be in the truth long enough that we should have a wall stronger than that. Even if somebody does come into the comment section saying some crazy stuff, that they should not get a reaction from us. Because we study the scriptures. Right? We need to keep on with the lesson and boom, just keep it knocked out, man. Don't let nobody come in here with no craziness. Just ignore them. Right? If it's meant for them, they wouldn't come in with arguing and they wouldn't come in with debate. They'll come in and listening and try to be a brother and try to get understanding instead of trying to push their point across. All right. That's how you know they're a brother now or how they're meant for this. Other than that, man, ignore them. If you can't ignore these folks, then the heathen's gonna get you trapped up on the outside. I know you're not keeping the commandments. Commandments, when you keep the commandments, it gives you wisdom. Don't let these folks come in here and doing this, man. They were the camp, man. Let them go to hell. Who cares? Right? Let the Most High wake them up. We're not here to argue with anybody. We're here to keep the commandments And that's what, you know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, man, when I was younger, maybe when I was, maybe a little younger, I thought, hey, man, let me go in here and, argue with this brother or talk to this brother about the keeping the commandments. Man, I don't care about that no more. Right? If the Most High didn't wake them up, if they don't want to do, hey, let them die. Let them die slow. I'm doing my part. I'm teaching the scriptures. We should every single one. Whether you brothers, I need you to do the same thing. Teach the scriptures. On your own time. But at the same time, we don't need to fall victim to to nothing. If they're on the outside or something like that, if they don't believe as we do, just let them be about their business until they come around. If they don't come around, then guess what? Then we won't see them in the kingdom. The scripture says what? It says, wide is the gate that leadeth to destruction, and many go in thereat. Y'all got to keep that. Y'all have to remember that. But every single time, because this not could be the first time. Y'all know this not the first time you had somebody come up in here, and we're going to keep having it. It's always going to happen. Right? Even myself, I had to get brother, and I had to get, and Brother Daniel was the one that actually helped me get better at ignoring these wicked women and heathens and brothers that want to be wicked as hell. Brother Daniel's helped me really ignore them because hey, man, it's not worth it. Right. So as we continue to to do this thing on the faith, right? As we continue to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments and get stronger in the faith, right? We need to show it on the outside. We need to show it on the outside, brothers and sisters. Now I'm gonna let Brother Daniel close it out. That's all I had to say. Remember.
All right, bro. Yeah. So just for transparency, it was some old Mexican claiming to be Issachar. I know how that he got blocked real quick after that. So.
Folly. See? Folly. Something we shouldn't be paying attention to.
Yep. So it was a heathen. So, but anyway, Yahshua, I pray that you all unified, with miracles, and it's always good to just reiterate and go over these miracles. All the miracles, even when Hamashiach was here and when he was working before he came in his first coming. So study all the miracles. Don't just limit yourself to only a few miracles. Study all the miracles so that we don't forget, in the future. And that's our whole goal, is that we don't forget like our forefathers forgot. We have to keep reminding ourselves that we are blessed, and there's nothing wrong with keeping a praise journal. Where I do. So when you every blessing that happens, you write it down and then you go back over it, because the reason why we fall into temptations and sins because we get to a point where we get comfortable, we forget what the Most High has done for us in the past, and that's the problem with a lot of our people. We forget and we don't remember anymore, and then we get comfortable doing our own thing. So
man, bring that out.
What's that?
Yeah, bring that out, man.
Yes, sir. We got to make sure that we never forget that is the whole thing. That's why we have to give praises. I have an altar on my property. I have an altar where I give every day when I come home from work. That altar is used for giving praises. There's nothing wrong with that. Having a little altar in your own. You live on your porch. Make sure it's facing the east. And always use that altar to give praise to the Most High. Always give Thanksgiving. I'm not saying to sacrifice an animal. I'm just saying, you can still do thank offerings. You can still do praise offerings. I'll do that. Right. All the time. Yeah. So with that being said, we're gonna close out here. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you something right quick.
Oh yeah, man. It's wrong with you, Bob.
Yeah, let me show you.
Let's see where all this wind is coming from.
I'd be remiss not to show you that. That's my little spot I got set up right there. Can y'all see that? Yes, sir. My little spot. You see
hey, brother. Hey, yeah, come, man. Brother Sam Vaniel said he's from Wichita.
I don't know what that is, boy.
Yeah, he wish he was in Sakai. Brother Stan V. See what? Yeah, man. Brother Daniel out there where it's beautiful, man.
Yeah, my property is just right over the mountains from Monterey, so I still get some of the coolness every now and then from there. So it's beautiful, y'all. But hey,
I know, man. One of these days, man, we're gonna have to set up a we're gonna have to get all the brews together, man. That on the channel, man. We're gonna have to doggone hold the Shabbat. Send somewhere out, somewhere on the land, man. Probably one of our property where we can chill and have the brews out. We can do that, Colorado Springs style. You know what I'm talking about? Yes, especially like when we have like a double, especially like when we have a double Shabbat or something like that too. Yeah.
All right, Yasharel. Well, hey, we're gonna bid you a hearty Shabbat Shalom.
Stay strong, Israel. Stay strong.
Yes, sir.